Are you on a quest for true personal growth, but torn between the path of mindfulness and the allure of manifestation? You're not alone. In this thrilling exploration, we dive deep into the heart of these two transformative practices to discover which truly leads to profound growth. Stick with us until the end, because along the way, we'll uncover insights that could absolutely transform your approach to life. Plus, here's an exciting surprise. By liking and commenting, you signal to YouTube's algorithm that content like this is what captivates you most, ensuring you'll see more of these incredible explorations. So, are you ready to unravel the mystery behind which approach holds the key to your best self? Let's dive into the discussion together.
Okay, let me ask you this. What if you could actually change your reality? I mean, really change it, your health, maybe your future, just by reprogramming how you think.
It's a powerful idea. But then, what if the opposite were true? What if trying to reprogram anything at all was missing the point?
Exactly.
What if real freedom, real peace, comes from just letting go? Completely dropping the whole idea of a separate needing to fix or control thing.
That tension right there, that's really the core of the source material we've been looking at. It sets up this fascinating contrast between two major figures.
Yeah, you've got Joe Dispenza, who comes at it from this neuroscience perspective, focusing on mind over matter in a very measurable way.
And then Alan Watts, the philosopher, bringing in Zen and Eastern thought, often with this, incredible wit about the whole human struggle.
And the sources don't just paint this as a philosophical chat. It's presented as a fundamental clash, really. Are we meant to build a better self, a better reality through focused intention, maybe even biological change?
Or is it about realizing that maybe you're already okay, that you're part of this unfolding universe, and the real problem is just the striving itself? It's like the controlled lab experiment versus just watching the river flow.
So our mission in this deep dive is to really get into the heart of these two viewpoints, pulling directly from the source materials you've shared. We want to unpack their core ideas, see where they really collide, and maybe even find some surprising common ground.
Sounds good. Let's start with Dispenza, the architect.
Okay, so the material frames Dispenza as someone who says, look, you can be the architect of your inner world, and that directly impacts your outer world. The core message is hugely empowering.
Right, it's saying your thoughts, your feelings, they aren't just reactions. They're tools, active forces you can learn to direct.
And crucially, as the sources stress, he argues this isn't just wishful thinking. He grounds it in science, particularly neuroplasticity.
Yeah, and the source material digs into that. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to literally rewire itself. Dispenza's take, as presented, is about consciously using that ability.
Think of it like, well, the sources use this analogy of paths in a forest. Keep thinking anxious thoughts, feeling fear. You carve deep pathways for anxiety.
But if you consistently, intentionally focus on, say, gratitude or a desired future, you start carving new neural pathways. You're literally building a brain that supports health or abundance or whatever your focus is.
And the sources point to research, studies showing the brain physically changing based on sustained mental focus. It's presented as concrete evidence.
And then he connects this internal rewiring to something even bigger, the quantum field.
Right. This is a really central concept in how the sources explain his work. The idea is, beyond what we see, there's this invisible field of, pure potential, energy and information.
Like a cosmic library of possibilities.
Sort of, yeah. The Force uses an analogy like a soup of potential realities. In your mind specifically, your focused intention combined with an elevated emotion acts like a tuning fork.
So you're not just thinking about a new job, you're feeling the gratitude or excitement as if you already have it. And that feeling, combined with the clear thought, somehow, selects that reality from the field.
That's the model presented, yes. You're energetically tuning into it, pulling it from potential into your actual experience.
Okay, so how does one actually do that? The practical side.
Meditation is key, according to the sources. But it's a specific kind. It's not just about chilling out. It's about actively changing your brainwaves, achieving what he calls heart-brain coherence.
The sources describe techniques, right? Like specific breathing, maybe slow, rhythmic breaths, like 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out.
Exactly. And while doing that, you consciously cultivate these elevated emotions: gratitude, love, joy, appreciation. The aim is to get the heart sending a coherent signal to the brain, syncing them up.
And that's the state, supposedly, where the veil between conscious and subconscious thins out, where you can impress your intention onto this quantum field.
That's the idea described.
Yeah.
Combine the clear intention, what you want, with the elevated feeling it now, to send out a powerful signal.
And the sources definitely highlight the results people claim. They talk about workshops filled with testimonials, people reporting significant healings, unexpected career changes, finding relationships.
Yeah, attributing these changes directly to applying these methods.
Yeah.
It's a very strong message of self-creation. You're in the driver's seat.
So his appeal, as the source portrays it, is this blend of a structured, almost scientific blueprint, putting control firmly in your hands. It's about discipline, focus, building the life you want. The quote sums it up: change your mind, change your life.
It is compelling, that sense of agency. But it does make you wonder,
Yeah.
well, if the goal is total control, what about, life? Life happens.
Yeah.
Things you can't predict or control. Is that constant effort sustainable or even desirable?
That's the perfect lead-in to Alan Watts. The sources almost set him up as the counterpoint, suggesting he might gently chuckle at the idea of reprogramming reality.
Right. If Dispenza is the architect, meticulously drawing plans, Watts is the one saying, why are you bothering with blueprints? Look around. You're already in this wild, amazing, constantly changing landscape.
His whole perspective, coming from Zen and Taoism, is rooted in non-duality. The source material explains this not just as a concept, but as a deep realization.
The realization that the feeling of being a separate me inside a body fighting against the world out there, that feeling itself is the illusion.
You aren't in the universe, you are the universe, just temporarily doing the you dance. Like a wave isn't separate from the ocean, it is the ocean waving.
And that's where the clash with Dispenza really shows up. From Watts' viewpoint, as presented, the whole effort to control, to manifest specific outcomes, to fix reality, that's actually the source of our stress and suffering.
It's like that wave trying to hold its shape forever or try and become flat calm when the wind is blowing. Pointless struggle.
Exactly. Life's beauty, Watts suggests via the source, is in its unpredictability, its messiness, its constant flow. Trying to tame that, to force it into your neat little boxes, it's exhausting and ultimately impossible.
There's that great quote from the source: the only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it. Don't resist the current, learn to swim with it, or even just float.
So his method, if you can call it that, isn't about step-by-step plans for getting somewhere else. It's about practices for waking up to this moment right here without needing it to be different.
Mindfulness comes in here, doesn't it? The source talks about simply sitting, noticing your breath, sounds, thoughts.
Yeah, but crucially, without an agenda. Noticing thoughts not to change them or judge them, but just watching them drift by, like clouds.
So the goal isn't manifestation or fixing, it's appreciation. Savoring the moment exactly as it unfolds, chaos included.
Precisely. Finding the peace within the dance, not by trying to control the music or the steps.
And the sources capture that feeling you get from Watts' work. It's smart, it's deep, but it's also got this warmth and wit. He doesn't offer a 5-step plan to success. He offers a shift in perspective that makes the constant striving seem kind of unnecessary.
Yeah, it makes the whole messy business of being alive feel less like a problem to solve and more like this, incredible unfolding mystery.
It definitely resonates with people feeling burnt out by the constant pressure to achieve, optimize, control everything. Watts offers this sense of liberation through, surrender, trusting the flow.
But then you have to ask, right, can this just let it be approach really stack up against Dispenza's seemingly practical science-backed methods for getting tangible results you actually want? That's the real collision point.
But before we delve further, we'd love to hear from you. Do you find yourself gravitating more towards mindfulness or manifestation in your own journey of growth? Share your perspectives by commenting below. Engaging with us not only enriches the conversation, but helps you find more content that resonates with your interests. And if you're captivated by this exploration, hitting the like button lets YouTube know you're eager for more. So, what's your take on this intriguing debate? Let us know while we dive deeper into the discussion.
Okay, let's put them side by side then, based on the sources. Dispenza, scientific-ish blueprint, take control, reprogram mind, shape reality. It's like building your dream house, very deliberately.
Watts. Zen perspective. Reality is a chaotic dance. Embrace it. Dissolve the separate self. Find freedom in surrender. More like learning to dance joyfully in a thunderstorm, maybe.
Yeah, good analogy. So it's structure versus surrender.
Effort versus ease.
Focused intention versus intuitive flow. They seem like polar opposites.
But And this is where the source material gets really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It suggests maybe they aren't completely opposite.
How so? Where's the overlap?
Well, fundamentally, they both put the mind, or consciousness, right at the center of how we experience reality. That's common ground.
Okay, but they use it differently.
Totally. Dispenza, as we said, uses meditation, coherence techniques, leveraging neuroplasticity. It's about actively changing the brain and body to send a new signal to that quantum field. He uses, brain scans, data, scientific language to back it up.
Whereas Watts also points to meditation, mindfulness. But from his perspective, rooted in mysticism, it's not about changing anything. It's about realizing what's already true.
Exactly. Uncovering the fact that you're already whole, already connected. It's a shift in perception, not a construction project.
So different tools, brain charts versus river metaphors, but both paths, as presented, involve practices that quiet the everyday thinking mind.
And aim to access deeper states of awareness as the key to a different experience of life.
Which brings us back to you, the listener. Hearing these two powerful perspectives laid out from the sources, what really clicks for you?
Does Dispenza's message light you up? That feeling of empowerment? The idea you can consciously architect your life, overcome challenges through mental discipline? Are you leaning towards Team Dispenza?
Or do you feel that sense of relief, that deep exhale, hearing Watts? The idea that maybe the struggle is the problem and freedom lies in embracing the chaos, surrendering to the flow. Are you more Team Watts?
Where does real power lie? In asserting control or in letting go of the need for it? Can you truly shape destiny? Or is liberation found in trusting its unfolding? The source material really pushes these questions.
And it's in that very tension, that push and pull, that the source hints at something else.
Exactly. It doesn't give a final verdict, obviously, but it floats this idea. Maybe it's not about choosing sides. Maybe the real juice is in finding a blend.
Right, it describes this little conceptual experiment, doesn't it? Something you could try.
Yeah, like for a few minutes, really try Dispenza's approach. Sit, breathe rhythmically, consciously generate that feeling of gratitude or joy. Focus intently on a desired future. Feel it as real.
Tune that dial, like we said.
And then consciously switch. Drop all intention, all goals. Just sit. Notice your breath without controlling it. Watch thoughts come and go without grabbing them. Just be present with whatever's happening, good or bad, comfortable or uncomfortable. Float downstream, like Watt suggests.
The idea isn't to become an expert overnight, but just to get a feel for those two different roads, right? The focused, directed energy versus the open, allowing presence.
Exactly. See what resonates, what feels more natural, or maybe even what feels useful in different situations. It's a personal exploration, prompted by these contrasting views in the sources.
So wrapping up this deep dive, we've explored two really compelling yet seemingly opposite ways of engaging with life drawn from these sources. You have Joe Dispenza offering this powerful toolkit for conscious creation. Use your mind, use these techniques, build the reality you want.
And then Alan Watts offering this profound wisdom of surrender, arguing that peace comes not from building or fixing, but from waking up to your connection with everything and learning to dance with the inevitable chaos.
And woven through it is this intriguing possibility. Maybe the most effective path isn't strictly one or the other. Maybe it's about integrating them, using focused intention perhaps to initiate change, while cultivating that deep acceptance and freedom that Watts talks about, finding peace in the process, regardless of the outcome.
It definitely leaves you thinking, doesn't it? Where do you find yourself leaning after hearing about these approaches? Are you more drawn to the structured power of creation or the liberating flow of surrender? Have you played with manifestation or just simple mindfulness? And what's your own experience been like?
And maybe a final thought to chew on, building on these ideas. If reality is fundamentally interconnected and perhaps chaotic, as Watts suggests, could Dispenza's very focused attempt to control and manifest specific outcomes just be another expression of that unpredictable cosmic dance?
Or, flipping it around, is the conscious choice to surrender, to let go of resistance, as Watts teaches, actually the ultimate act of control? Not control over outer events, but mastery over your inner state, your peace, no matter what the dance floor looks like.
Kind of loops back on itself, doesn't it? Control and surrender, maybe not so separate after all.
Definitely food for thought. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of these fascinating perspectives. Keep pondering.
As you ponder these profound questions, where does your preference lie? Are you more aligned with the diligent path of manifestation, or do you find solace in the ebb and flow of mindfulness? We'd love to hear about your personal experiences and insights in the comments below. Engaging with us helps create a richer tapestry of discussion and ensures that more content like this reaches you, thanks to YouTube's algorithm recognizing what captivates your interest. And don't forget to give us a like if you found this exploration enlightening. You'll find 2 videos on your screen now. Click on one to continue your transformative journey into these fascinating realms. Remember, whether you're crafting your reality or embracing its chaos, each step of your path is an opportunity for growth. Let's dive deeper together.